Check, 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 check. 1, 2, check. Happy Saturday, everybody. It is somewhere at like 4 in the afternoon for me. You guys are having a good time. I figured let's go watch some random shit on YouTube. Maybe go play some games. Look at that. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm like yawning. I don't know why I'm yawning. Went to go get a massage today.
Think we're decoys?
Who cares? We'll be the last ones left. Lucky that one did the beacon. This was gonna take weeks. All right, let's mop up.
Finally.
Dressing as decoys too cute to murder. You know, I'm not sure it helped, but I'm glad we tried it. We're losing the costumes?
Thank God, this decoy outfit smells like ass.
You, Summer.
That was adorable. I don't care who you are. That was adorable. What is this?
I really wish I could keep in the entire intro, but I can't.
Copyright.
So let's just pretend like it's going, okay? King of the Hill is one of those shows that I can put on at any time and genuinely enjoy any episode. I'm a big fan of the show, and I believe I've said that a few times
Love the
before on
show.
this channel, so it shouldn't be a big surprise that I'd want to be able to talk about the topic in its own separate video. And today, we're doing just that.
Okay.
I stumbled upon an interesting topic that I believe deserves its own video. So, with that being said, sit back, relax, grab a snack, maybe drink some water, and get cozy, because today, we're talking about King of the Hill's Lost Propaniacs commercial.
What do you mean?
King of the Hill originally began in January 1997, created by Mike Judge, the creative mind behind Beavis and Butthead,
Yes.
and Greg Daniels, a writer for The Simpsons. It focuses around the Hill family living their average day-to-day life in Arlen, Texas, a fictional city located in a very real state. Hank Hill is our main protagonist, a man who is often socially awkward, yet the most logical voice of reason in the series. He's the assistant manager of Strickland Propane, and he definitely wears that title with pride. His wife, Peggy, starts as a substitute teacher in the series, however, she acquires many different roles throughout it and ends up working different positions, such as a journalist and even in real estate. Their son, Bobby, is drastically different from Hank and his generation, which often leads to Hank saying the phrase,
Yeah,
"That
boy,
boy
ain't
ain't
right."
right." You guys like that impression? Yeah.
a
There were
terrible
13
impression,
seasons with 259 episodes in total, all across the span of the show's 13 years on air, and boy, there were some gems. With episodes like Bobby Goes Nuts having the immensely strong humor factor to episodes like Pretty Dresses that tackled heavier topics like depression. In my opinion, King of the Hill is an extremely realistic slice of life show because there's relatable characters and a wonderfully created atmosphere, not to mention the bonds between characters building throughout the series, a perfect example of which is the episode Meet the Propaniacs. Meet the
Great
Propaniacs is
episode.
the 20th episode of the 4th season. It focuses on Hank's connection to Bobby as they learn from each other. Bobby sets up a comedy routine based around propane. Hank's
Propane.
profession. So Hank teaches Bobby about propane, and Bobby teaches Hank about comedy. It's
And they
actually one of my
bond.
favorite episodes in the entire show because we get to see Hank and Bobby on the same side, and it's amazing. Hank is usually more of a serious character, hardly laughing, and constantly at odds with Bobby. And seeing the two interact, and Hank actually laughing with his son,
Fun.
it's heartwarming. 10 out of 10.
Kind of makes
definitely
it
recommend.
nice.
So I stumbled upon this case of lost media completely on its own while I was watching YouTube. Yeah. Like any other animation fan, my YouTube recommendations get filled with random 10 to
Lots
30
of-
second clips of shows I watch.
Yep.
While just wasting time procrastinating on homework, I was watching these random King of the Hill clips when I stumbled upon one from Meet the Propaniacs, where
Okay.
Bobby comes up with the new closer, "You must buy, you
Yes,
must buy,
I know that.
you must buy propane." I can't do a good Bobby Hill impression. And Hank says it's the funniest thing he's ever heard. Admittedly, I laughed because it was quite funny. So when I scrolled down into the comments, I saw one that said, I swear that there was an actual commercial for King of the Hill that had Bobby singing this with the backing track to Cocaine in it. Like a music video,
there's
and
no
I'm pretty
way.
sure Bobby was dancing with a bucket on his head, and there were color outlines around him against a black background. Shame I can't find it. Following that comment into the replies were some more people reaffirming that this commercial did in fact exist. Someone dated the commercial to about 2005, claiming that it was aired in San Diego, although with Fox being a, nationwide station, it's not just San Diego exclusive.
It would be everybody.
So, at least we have a time frame.
Well, you would think it
and
would be,
at
right?
least one location, which is an amazing way to start the search. Most of these searches need to begin on a broad scale, so I'll be exploring surface-level websites like YouTube, Dailymotion, Vimeo, stuff like that. I should also say that
honestly
I'm going to
do
be
not
using...
remember the clip he is talking about. Like, I remember the commercial, or I remember Bobby doing the little dance in the episode and the fucking propane tank on his head, but I don't know what he's talking about in this.
Broad keywords, because I have no idea which song Cocaine is. Literally,
a
a
lot.
bunch of bands have made songs called Cocaine,
Eric Clapton.
so I'll be narrowing it down later. My first stop was Dailymotion, because that website is a mess. I had a few videos to watch through, so I went ahead and grabbed my snacks and began. Fortunately, Dailymotion actually had compilation videos of different King of the Hill commercials, so for once it was actually useful. There were a few King of the Hill commercials and bumpers, however, none of them were the one I was looking for. So Dailymotion was off the list. Next up is Vimeo. That really didn't yield anything. Dailymotion was actually more useful in this, to be honest. I saved YouTube for last mainly because it's a lot more mainstream than the other websites and people use it more. So while you're more likely to find it here, you have to look through a lot of videos in order to even come close to finding it. You also have to consider that the original commenters had looked on YouTube as well and had found
and they still
nothing.
hadn't found it.
So the search continues. After scrolling through endless videos of various clips, promos, and YouTube poops, I was still unable to find it. Thus, YouTube became a bust, or rather put it on the side burner until I could gather more information about the specifics of this ad.
Loser! You're a loser!
However, there was one more thing I could try. I should clarify now that I believe OP when they said that this is a commercial. However, checking for validity definitely helps. The original comment mentions Bobby dancing with a bucket on his head. Cool beans, that's helpful information. It's safe to assume that if they were reusing dialogue, they might have been reusing animation. This is unlike the Silver Surfer ad or the Super Bowl ad where there's new voice lines recorded and new animation made. So I decided to start looking for any sort of clip with Bobby dancing with a bucket on his head. Unfortunately, I was unable to find one. However, it really doesn't seem out of character for Bobby, so I'm sure there's probably an episode of him doing that. I just want to say that before 2005, there were 9 seasons, and between work and school, I really didn't have the time to binge all of them just for one video. So let me know in the comments if you know a specific episode regarding Bobby with the bucket. Without knowing any sort of clip or additional context, I had to move on from looking specifically for this commercial with very little information, so my next big assignment was tracking down the right song. I'll admit, I don't listen to a lot of mainstream music, and that's not me being like, oh, I listen to stuff
I'm a
that's
hipster.
underground. No, I mean I literally do not listen to it. I'm the kind of guy who likes lo-fi stuff, OSTs from video games and TV shows, and podcasts, so I'm not exactly the ideal person for the situation. By using the hints in the comments, we should be able to set up a time frame for the music used in the commercial.
I doubt he will.
The song is called Cocaine, but we don't have it banned.
Honestly,
I'm going to
do
be
not
using
remember the
search.
clip he was talking about.
There was a bunch of songs using cocaine.
Like, I remember the commercial, or I remember Bobby.
2005. However, it wouldn't be out of character to use an older song. For the sake of figuring this out, I'm gonna look at any songs made prior to 2007, just to broaden the horizon a bit, due to the chance of this person misremembering the year. Not that I doubt them, it's just a common trope when looking for lost media. The most prominent result I got was the song Cocaine by Eric Clapton,
which
originally
I
written
think would be
in
the first one that would
1976
pop
by
up.
J.J. Cale. Eric Clapton made a cover version of the song and released it on his 1977 album Slow Hand. The date of the release is a little far from the estimated date of the commercial, I acknowledge that, but it's almost a match based on the description of the comments. Popular song, cocaine, funny Bobby Hill, this is literally our base criteria. The next step in this process was listening to the song and figuring out where we could put the Propaniacs jingle into it. So less than a minute into the song, there are some lyrics, and it goes, she don't lie, she don't lie, she don't lie, cocaine. I'll admit it, when I heard this part, I
How
went
high do you think
crazy
Eric
and
Clapton
started
was when he
saying,
wrote
"Hey,
that?"
oh, this is the part," while it played in the background and my cat tried to figure out why I was yelling about cocaine. So, we've pinpointed which artist and specific song it is, we have the release date of the music, hopefully this makes searching for it much easier?
No.
One of the things that makes lost media hunting a little easier is the presence of fandoms. With so many different places dedicated to the presence of games, movies, TV shows, and so on, finding an expert with knowledge of what you're searching for becomes a tad easier. However, with the knowledge of Eric Clapton being behind the song and a King of the Hill remix of it, it was starting to be led into circles. With every new search I conducted of it, it was always led back to some fan-made parody one, nothing ever official or describing the commercial. It was strange that so many people had the same idea when it came to the song, yet none mentioned the actual commercial. I had reached a roadblock. Where exactly did I go from here? I reached out to a few people that were pretty familiar with not only King of the Hill, but commercials as well. Through that, I was able to find out that a Fox Kids cut of King of the Hill didn't exist, something I talked about in a previous video, but none actually knew of this strange commercial. Every online
somebody
trace
probably
of
made
such
it
a
up.
thing brings us back to these fan-made parodies. So, in the end, I was really left guessing if there was truly a commercial. 2005 was the year stated by the comments, however, it was also the year YouTube was born. The only problem with that is that the oldest YouTube parody I could find was from the beginning of 2009. So, we have some possibilities here. Number 1. The commercial actually exists. This possibility is somewhat likely in the sense that I may not be looking hard enough, and
So here's Boom
yeah, I
Mallor.
get that. I'm not the smartest guy around. Also, it's literally lost media, so it may exist on a VHS or old recording sitting in someone's dusty old
It's
basement.
probably
of
somebody
collection
has
of
it
recordings.
then.
It's not impossible. It's just one of those unlikely events due to how there's little to no mention of the actual commercial online outside of these comments, so who knows? Number 2, the commercial is being misremembered. This is a common trope of lost media. When someone takes something that they've absorbed,
I like how he's just
the magic
apologizing.
time starts to skew how they remember it. Someone could have seen the commercial as just an online video, or they might have
And it
just
might have
made
been
it up in
something
their head
completely
based on how
different.
similar it sounded. The only real problem with this possibility is that there were like other people backing up the claim, although
So they all had
also
fever dreams
misremembered
together?
it. Think of it like the Clockman search, where everyone each had their own version of it. Number 3, the commercial does not exist.
That's
This
where
is a
I'm
more
at.
dead set version of Possibility 2, but says that not only was there no commercial, but the media itself never existed. What I mean by that is there was no King of the Hill commercial that was similar to this, and the memory that OP describes is nothing more than a fabrication. It's a bit on the negative side of things, but we still have to acknowledge it because there's always that
There's
slight possibility.
things.
And finally, number 4, the commercial is from Adult Swim. This is a strange
Ooh.
one and actually
That
one of
makes
the
more
lesser
sense,
likely
though.
possibilities, but I still wanted to talk about it because it's pretty interesting.
I could see
Adult
that
Swim
being
has aired
true.
all kinds of shows since it began in 2001. However, they started airing King of the Hill in 2009. This is coincidentally the same year of release as the oldest parody video on YouTube. This is a long shot. I mean, really the
It
long
makes a
shot
lot more
ever
sense,
imagined,
though.
But it honestly does seem like something Adult Swim would air, since they're pretty unique about their ads. But unlike the other possibilities, number 4 is mainly more of a theory. So
I
yeah.
believe that one more than anything.
I did one final sweep of the internet using whatever keywords I could think of regarding the lost commercial, but unfortunately I wasn't able to find it. This whole search feels crazily impossible because nobody knows what I'm talking about. Nobody
Like,
knows
he's
what this topic
insane.
is, and as far as I know, nobody has really talked.
Xanterra Travel Collection delivers a world of unforgettable experiences in the most beautiful places on Earth. We are the largest operator of lodges, restaurants, and other concessions at some of America's most renowned national parks, and owner of some of the world's top travel and adventure companies. We're big on protecting and respecting the environment,
Okay.
and we are wholly committed to living more sustainably. In fact, it's written into our mission statement. Legendary hospitality with a softer footprint. If this lines
I
up with
don't know
your
how I feel
values,
about that
why not
statement.
join the team and
I like
help
it,
make a
but-
difference? The range of positions is as wide as the Grand Canyon itself. Sustainability intern, bartender, guest attendant, ranch cook, tour driver, mule wrangler, and many more.
Mule
You can be
wrangler.
sure there's a position that will ignite your true passion.
What do you do?
Xanterra
I'm
is a
just
company
mule
grounded in
wrangler.
integrity. We believe diversity makes us better. As diverse as our team may be, we all have a few things in common: a passion for the environment, a strong sense of community, a drive to work hard, and a strong desire to create exceptional experiences for our guests. Many of our properties provide room and board as part of your package. You can work here for a season or settle in for a full-time, year-round opportunity. Your choice. No matter how long our employees stay, they all say the same thing: the memories last forever. We are all about offering our employees adventures and endless opportunities for personal and professional growth. Live, work, and explore at Xanterra. Start down your new path now. Go to xanterra.com/careers.
Which other one's there? Hold on. Yellowstone, Grand Canyon, Glacier, Rocky Mountain, Zion, Mount Rushmore, Grand Canyon Railway Hotel, the Grand Hotel, the Oasis. That's where I have here, and here I can go to. I don't know which one I'm picking though. Where is this? Walking vacations. When's they do cruises. Cedar Creek Lodge. Huh. Interesting. Like 4 years ago. Service stations. I don't care enough to watch that. I forgot about the blob.
You sure it was Victor?
Yeah.
Damn. I'm sorry, man.
He's like, hold on, something's
What
wrong
happened
here.
to him after I left?
He got worse. He felt like you abandoned him. Hell,
Okay.
we all did. But Victor, he had to prove he was better than you. Hunting and killing everything he was born at. Quite a few months later myself. Couldn't take rounding him up.
Rounding who up?
Leave it alone.
Rounding who up, John?
Ooh.
God damn it, John.
We hunted our own kind, Logan. There's a special place in hell for the things we did.
Mutants?
Yeah.
Why?
Stryker said we'd be making a difference. Protecting people from the bad ones.
Okay.
How you gonna take Victor down, Logan?
I don't care enough to watch
No.
this. Yeah, well. It's a super mega cut. I don't want to watch the super mega cut. Historic pirate rum. Oh, this popped up. I wanted to see what this was.
Get off my deck now! Get off my deck now!
1, 2, 3. 19 messages. 1, 2, 3.
This division of U.S. Navy recruits is in week 3 of their
Oh,
10-week
poor them.
boot camp.
Get him up, Holcomb. It's supposed to hurt. Down.
they're enduring what's known as an intensive training exercise, or ITE
Punishment.
session.
Push-ups. Get there.
It lasts for about 40 minutes without a
Trigger.
break.
Up position. I told you yesterday I was going to get mine. Y'all been pissing me off for a week. Between not working together, thinking it's a joke, and it's not. You arguing, not wanting to step up to lead. You either lead or you follow. That's simple. Stop with this individuality and work as a team.
It takes everyone a little bit, I think, to realize the big message. We are one family, we are one team. There are no more individuals.
Nope.
IT is not fun. It's to help you
Good. It
remember
shouldn't
what
be
you
fun.
did wrong so that you don't do it again.
We had enough? Yes, no, the we haven't.
This is Navy Boot Camp.
Oh, boo.
Every year, more than 40,000 recruits graduate before becoming sailors and officially joining the fleet. It happens here at Recruit Training Command Great Lakes, located
Michigan.
about 35 miles north of Chicago. RTC
Oh, it
Great
is in
Lakes
Illinois.
is
Never
the
mind.
only boot camp for enlisted U.S. Navy sailors.
Who's going to a submarine? Yeah. Why?
Why?
More money? Absolutely, 100%.
Base pay for enlisted sailors is about $22,000 a year. Sailors commit to actively serve for at least 4 to 6 years, depending on their specialty
Contract.
or rate.
There is no special skills required prior to signing that commitment. We were able to take
There
any
is.
civilian off the
You
street
gotta fucking pass
and
your
transform
ASVAB.
them into a smartly disciplined, physically fit, basically trained sailor.
There is a requirement. Pass your
Boot
ASVAB
camp
and be able to
begins
pass
with the night of
physical
arrival.
fitness test.
Let's go! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Buses driving
Move.
from O'Hare Airport bring about
I've been to
100
O'Hare
new
Airport.
recruits to the Recruit In Processing Facility.
Let's go!
From
We
Sacramento
want to put
to
them in a
O'Hare
stressful environment
to Kentucky
to show
to
them
Louisville.
that even though it might be stressful for them, they can get through it.
You're moving too slow!
And then it kind of like sets the tone for the rest of training.
What the f are you looking at, guy? Where did I tell you to look? Where? Where did I tell you to look? Welcome to Recruit Training Command. I'm Chief Walters. I'll be one of your facilitators this evening. When I tell you to, you will remove your cell phone. You're going to call home, call your parents, call your recruiter, I don't care who, but you're going to let them know that you arrived here safely. You have 1 minute, go.
What up, man? Hey, I just made it in.
I don't have long to speak, but I just want to tell you that I made it safely, but I'm okay.
You got 45 seconds, hurry up!
I'll get through it. I gotta go, Mom.
I called my mom. It was definitely emotional, though, because you kind of know that's the last time you're going to be able to contact your family for a little bit.
Love you very much. You guys have a good one. Bye.
You understand the words coming out of my mouth? Yeah. What are you saying yep to? It's yes, Chief. What is your problem, guy? What is your problem? Why are you moving so slow? You're on my time now, not your time. Hurry up!
It was brutal, I won't lie. It was a culture shock. You are learning pretty much how to be a new human.
You do not know what the you're supposed to be doing at any given time. You will stand at attention until told to do otherwise. At no point in time will you look a staff member in the eyes. That's rude and disrespectful, and that's the quickest way to piss us off. Is that understood? Yes, Chief. How about some motivation? Is that understood? Yes, Chief.
Recruits receive their ditty bags,
Hey, hurry up. Let's go. Get your socks off my table. Let's go.
which hold their different uniforms, hygiene products, and basic items they'll need for boot camp.
Hurry up. Go, 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 go.
Recruits must provide urine
Better-
samples to
that's the
make
other
sure they
requirement
have
you
no
probably should
drugs
put.
in their systems. Those who can't immediately provide a sample are
You gotta
ordered to
drink
hydrate
water.
until they can. Although male and female recruits sleep in different compartments, some train in gender-integrated divisions. After being assigned to divisions, recruits wait to meet their recruit division commanders, or RDCs.
Let's go!
Turn around. Back the up.
Signified by their red shoulder cords, these RDCs will be with the division until they graduate from boot camp.
Did we say you could talk?
They want to be here to be sailors. So that's our job, to train them, to help them get there.
Why are we so slow? Hey, you, isn't he taller than you?
Yeah.
Yes, Chief.
Learn it.
No, Chief. I, Chief.
We're not their friends.
Fuck you,
We're
Jay.
here to make them sailors.
What are you looking at, recruit? Do I owe you anything?
You want them to be uncomfortable, right? You want to get them out of their comfort zone. Boot camp is hard, but when you go out to the fleet, if you make a mistake, you're going to kill somebody. Yeah. Right? Now it's lives are at stake. So we want them to understand that the bigger picture.
Male recruits have to shave their heads. Female recruits can pull their hair back in a bun or wear it down as long as it does not extend below the back of the collar. The new recruits pay their first visit to the galley, where they eat in silence and stare straight ahead until they're dismissed.
Table 8, get up and get out!
They'll need their strength for their first test of boot camp.
Come on, push it up.
An initial physical assessment known as the PACER test.
Everyone up!
They have to do a
Timed
swim
intervals
test, though,
of
with theirs,
push-ups,
so...
planks,
Fuck planks, man.
and running.
I can do a
Not
plank
every
for a good
recruit
while, but
shows up
fuck
where they
planks.
need to be. That's okay. That's what we're here for.
Put your hands by your side. Look at everybody else next to you. Fix yourself.
If we identify individuals that are struggling, then we can curtail the training to make sure everyone's on a level playing field to be successful.
2 minutes on the left.
Recruits have 2 chances to pass the test.
0226.
If they fail, they're recycled into another division where they'll keep trying until they can move forward.
And there's their
In
swim
week
test.
1, recruits are tested on their ability to swim.
So I will give them credit for that. I didn't ever have to do that.
God forbid you're in that abandoned ship scenario where you do have to leave the safety of your ship. The Navy has deemed that we need to be able to implement a swim qualification to ensure your safety and the safety of your shipmates. Everyone in the Navy has to have a third-class swim qualification. The third-class qualification consists of stepping from an elevated platform
into the water and swimming.
Surfacing unassisted, swimming 50 yards, then doing a 5-minute prone on your front, known as a prone float, or on your back, known as a supine float.
I knew it's the Navy, you're gonna need to know how to swim a little bit. I had swam before, but I had never jumped off a diving board. Hitting the water, you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. It's a shock.
But not all recruits are ready to take the leap. Some have to be pulled from the water during the test and sent to remedial swimming, where they learn the basics of being comfortable in the water.
We're just asking you to try to actually calm yourself down and realize that the water's not going to drag you under. You know, you have to cooperate with it.
You gotta be friends with the water.
99.97% pass rate. We have a higher pass rate for recruits that can't swim than the Navy has of making civilians into sailors.
During week 3, recruits report to the Marlin Spike trainer, where they get their first taste of what it's like to be aboard a Navy ship.
Hand over hand, positive control.
Y'all literally just did this. What is the problem?
Figure 8, 1 figure 8 at a time.
Once they do get to us, there's that nervousness. They don't know anything about a ship. It's scary. It's a big old vessel in the water, right?
Remove the bird's nest.
We teach them about how to communicate on a ship, how to tie knots, transitioning them to be a sailor.
This walkthrough, that was the easy part. Now the pressure's on. You up, you up.
Each recruit is assigned a role that corresponds to a real member of a ship's crew,
Make all preparations for getting underway.
with the objectives of getting a ship underway and bringing it safely into port.
Make all preparations for entering port.
So at the bridge at the very top, you have the boatswain's mate, and then we have our bridge phone talker.
Mine's 3 and 4. Singled up, bridge eye.
They're going to be having comms with the other 3 phone talking stations down on
there.
the actual ship.
Attention on deck, attention on pier.
And then the petty officers in charge relay that message to the line captain.
Fake down line going inboard. Fake down line going inboard.
Line captains have that script saying, single up all lines, take in all lines.
Double up all lines high.
Who the is talking?
It's loud, it's chaotic, it's hectic. Because when they're on the actual ship, when they have actual waves moving that ship, they need to be calm, cool, and collected and resort back to their training.
When I say prepare heaving line for heaving, that's when he comes over here.
You're gonna hold this so he can tie the knot.
It's all about communication as well as following all the safety precautions. Anything that can get you injured, you need to make sure you're aware of what that is, make sure your teammates aren't doing it either.
Watch your feet, watch your feet, watch your feet.
Just standing there, they can be injured. Somebody can go overboard. Somebody can trip up on a line. Take it for myself because I've I've eaten complete crap before, like falling on the deck of a ship. And it was not fun.
1, 2, 3.
Remove figure eights and round turn. Take figure eights off and then round turn. Move to safety zone.
But seamanship starts in the classroom.
What's advance mean? Stop. Okay, next. What's next?
Single up all lines. Forecastle I.
Aye. All stations, single up all lines.
All stations, bridge.
All stations, bridge, single up all lines.
Single up all. Single up all
Come
lines.
on.
It's like speaking a different language. You got to get the hang of it. It helps that everyone else is doing it with you, so the more you hear it, it's all around you. Eventually, you won't even think about it.
Just tell him the message.
Bridge, single up all lines.
It's Barney style. We break it down Barney style.
Barney like the dinosaur?
Yes, pretty much.
Single up all lines, aye.
Perfect, just like that.
This is called the confidence chamber. I don't call it the gas chamber. I don't call it the torture chamber. It's none of that stuff. It is the confidence chamber. The reason you go through this is so we can prove to you that the mask works. Does that make sense?
Yes, Chief.
In week 4, recruits are exposed to CS gas or tear gas in the
That'll
confidence
clear your
chamber.
system.
Who's nervous
sinuses
right now?
real
Somebody
quick.
tell me why you're nervous.
I'm nervous about how my body's gonna react.
How he's going to react? It's going to react accordingly.
Yeah, well, it's fun. It's so fun.
After learning how to properly don and clear the masks, the recruits head inside the chamber and wait for their turn to step to the line at the front of the room. An instructor pours the powder inside the CS capsule onto a hot plate, filling the room with gas.
Mask up, come up, let's go. Get that mask up. Get that cup up.
When
Wanna
they
clear
take
your
off the
sinuses,
mask, it only takes
just
a
the way to
few
do it.
seconds before they feel the effects of the gas.
Don't drink milk that day
Some
if you go to the
recruits don't
gas chamber.
seem affected by it.
Don't drink milk.
But most struggle. They cup their hands under their chins to prevent bodily fluids from leaking onto the floor.
What does it
You
feel
gotta
like
come
when
back
you
and
take
clean
that
it.
mask off?
Hurts, burns a lot. It's a good sinus clearer. If you're sick, you'll be able to breathe once you leave there.
Sierra Group Morales Division 205. Hoo-yah!
Yeah. Fucking
Recruits say their names and division numbers, followed by a hoo-yah.
That's the lamest, stupidest thing that any branch could ever say. Don't mind you, I have a lot of Navy friends, but that's still so fucking lame.
After about 15 seconds of
I'm
exposure,
not saying anybody
they're
else is
allowed
better.
to exit the chamber.
Keep moving.
Flap your arms. You gotta go flap your arms and open your eyes.
It definitely wasn't fun. Definitely wouldn't, sign up to do it again, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, easy day.
Yeoman, where y'all at? Where my man yeoman at? Man yeoman?
Later in week 4, recruits are trained to fight fires.
You never know when a simple fire will break out on board the ship.
I give them more credit for this.
Any sailor needs to be ready to combat that fire to save the ship, aircraft, submarine, you name it.
LC2, move in!
Controlled fires fueled by propane tanks simulate different types of fires that could occur on a ship.
A lot of them don't understand that pressure that comes through the hose. As soon as you open up that nozzle, all that pressure starts to push you backwards. They kind of hold it nonchalantly a little bit.
It was one of the most hands-on experiences we got to do. Part of the teamwork that helps you realize that there's going to be points where your life is going to be in the hands of another person. It's important to pay attention because if you're not doing things correctly, you're putting someone else in danger.
There you go. Oh, pistol time.
Recruits trained to safely fire the M9 Beretta pistol, as well as to assemble and disassemble it.
A lot of people that come through here have minimal to zero experience.
3-1000.
If something's incorrect, we fix it right away. If we see that some of them are kind of just a little bit too nervous, we'll talk to them, make sure
like,
that they're
"Are you
mentally
okay?"
okay, and make sure that they feel safe and they feel like they're in a good environment.
Why should Navy sailors need to be qualified to shoot weapons?
I would say most typically on watch. That's when we have to stand watch and provide some sort of security. If someone steps on board a vessel, anything seems kind of weird, kind of sketchy, then we would have to employ that weapon if things start to escalate.
Yeah, that's fair.
He captured
boot camp culminates with an event known as Battle Stations. It happens inside this building, which may not look like much from the outside, but inside, the recruits encounter this. The
ship?
USS Traer. It's a 2/3 scale replica of a Navy destroyer ship designed and built by companies that created attractions for Walt Disney World.
Good evening, division.
Battle Stations is an accumulation of every training evolution you've done throughout basic.
I know what happened. Something
Mixed with
popped,
a little bit
though.
of sleep deprivation. So I think it's the closest thing any of us are going to get to what being on a ship's like.
Although the Navy agreed to let our crew film
They're not
parts
gonna
of the
show
Battle
all of it.
Stations event, we weren't allowed to show major details of the scenarios
No, I would
or
hope not.
solutions to the problems recruits have to solve.
So it goes over 17 different scenarios, from firefighting to seamanship, first aid, so all of those combined into one special night.
A special and long night. Recruits are not allowed to sleep during the event.
Doors go.
Who are you telling?
I do not
Are you
care.
telling me? Are you telling Petty Officer? Or are you telling your CLS? Tell the CLS!
Doors go, CLS.
When they say when you get to fleet, you got to be able to handle sleep deprivation, you really do. You have to be able to handle doing the right thing, even when it's very stressful, even when you're cold, wet, tired, sleepy, and even when your peers may not be in the right mindset either.
The first scenario we saw involved a burst water pipe in a room full of ammunition shells that recruits had to move while trying to patch the pipe.
If you can't do it alone, ask for help.
They use their firefighting skills to put out a fire that breaks out on board.
We have all the sound effects, the lighting, the smoke, just because we want to make sure it's as realistic as possible. Once you go out to the ship, if there was ever, an emergency situation that happened, we want to kind of reflect that here.
Oh, what
We
happened?
were allowed to film inside one of the training areas built to resemble
Oh.
the damage suffered by the USS Cole in the deadly attack in October of 2000, with details down to the clock on the wall, which is stopped on the minute the real attack occurred. But when the scenario starts, recruits don't notice such details.
People are dying! People are dying!
They have to locate and evacuate a casualty through thick smoke, over obstacles, and in total darkness.
Some people like working under stress because they say pressure either produces diamonds or it bursts pipes.
It was really fun. I would definitely do it again, maybe after a full night's rest, but I would 100%
Where would the fun in
do
that
Battle
be?
Stations again. It's a night I will never forget.
Who the hell's the team? Who the hell's the team?
After Battle Stations is complete,
get their
recruits
hats.
line up in front of the USS Traer to receive their Navy ball cap, symbolizing their transition from recruits to Navy sailors.
They realize everything that they have done thus far, all the blood, sweat, and tears they shed, they finally earned their Navy ball cap, and it's a proud moment for all of them.
That morning was extremely emotional. I was definitely more proud of that than anything I've ever done before. Nothing
Good.
compares to that moment.
I know that feeling.
Friends and family gather to witness their new sailors graduate
It's a very
before joining
wonderful
the
feeling.
fleet.
You see the change. You have some recruits that you never thought they were going to make it past training. But once they graduate and you see that, wow, they grasp the point of this, you know they're going to be out there, out in the fleet. It's really rewarding.
Seeing recruits come off the bus with long hair, not knowing their left to the right, not knowing how to wear a uniform, and seeing that transition that they make from a civilian to a recruit to a sailor is truly eye-watering and truly a blessing.
That day I left. That day I left. My daddy said. I shook my daddy's hand. He said that I'd become a man. I'd become a man. Oh, we, 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 oh, we.
Business Insider always does such good, like, segments. I want to say documentaries, because they're not really documentaries. They're like mini docs. Ugh. Poor Butters. I feel so bad for Butters. If you guys haven't seen the the COVID special one. I'm trying to think which one it was. Cholesterol is bad, yeah. What is mud flood? I don't know what mud flood is. Ugh. No. Oh, it's gross.
You will not look at me! Scream, yes, Sergeant! Yes, Sergeant!
This
Louder!
is Hell Week at Virginia Military Institute.
I don't know where this is. What is this?
The oldest public senior military college in the U.S. On a hot and humid Saturday in August, 496 new freshmen, or RATs, arrived at VMI to begin the first week of the RAT line. A challenging 6-month process they must complete before they officially enter the Corps of Cadets.
What is a rat?
I believe it's described as the lowest, dirtiest thing on earth.
You will straight at all times. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Do you understand me? Yes, sir.
Since the 1850s, new cadets have been called rats and refer to each other as brother rats.
Brother rat! Brother rat!
Brother Rat! Brother Rat!
They drop the moniker after the rat line ends.
Brother Rat!
Golf company. All right. Excited? You ready? Awesome. Let's grab your stuff.
On matriculation day, new
Ew,
rats are
what a terrible
welcomed by
word.
cadets.
I know what it means, but what a terrible word.
To the Virginia Military Institute and the Corps of Cadets.
And by VMI Superintendent Major General Cedric T. Wins.
So today your journey begins.
Wins, a VMI graduate, was appointed in April 2021 as the first black superintendent in the school's 182-year history. A milestone since VMI didn't racially integrate until 1968.
Wow.
The new rats say goodbye to their families before it's officially time for them to join the rat line.
It was a sad moment, but at the same time, it was a sense of excitement knowing that I have a new path ahead of me.
Let's go, company Rats! Follow it!
The rats march into barracks to officially meet their cadre. The group of upperclassmen charged with training and disciplining the new rats.
It was surreal. I was not expecting any of that. People are yelling, screaming, running around and everything. I didn't know what to do, what to think. I just felt so alone.
The route. You fall in line.
With all the rats inside, the barracks gates were locked, barring all visitors.
It was nerve-wracking, but at the same time awe-inspiring. That moment where you know, this is it.
Do they commission as officers?
The slow walk-in is like the intimidation factor. It's supposed to like intimidate the rats, and it's just to give the rats like
Triggered.
a culture shock of where they are so that they understand what they're getting themselves into.
You will respect them. They will teach.
After this not-so-warm welcome from the cadre, the rats' next stop is the barber shop.
Oh no.
Female rats must wear their hair in a tight bun or ponytail and can't have it fall below the shoulder blades. Male rats have to shave their heads.
Why are you holding them?
So I can service them.
Hair longer than 8 inches is cut and donated to charity.
Oh, well, that's sweet, I guess.
VMI cadets are not obligated to serve in the armed forces after graduation.
Really?
And tuition costs about $30,000 per year for Virginia residents and about $60,000 for out-of-state cadets.
Why come to VMI if you don't have a plan to serve?
A normal college, like the way I'm wired, I feel like I wouldn't be able to succeed as well as at a normal college. I think I need some discipline.
Okay, fair enough.
A common appeal of VMI is the alumni network, which includes politicians like Virginia Governor Ralph Northam.
I think the connections here will be useful.
So many opportunities, connections.
About half of cadets do not go on to serve in the military, yet they still chose this for their college experience.
The rat line, it's all mental. It's to put pressure so that you can be more mentally tough. Giving rats a very stressful environment shows them that you're at the bottom, you have to work your way to the top, and also you need to be able to like overcome pressure and like obstacles in your way.
I thought she said popsicles.
The rats form up outside, where they continue to get to know their cadre.
Shut that dog in the back. Listen right now. Right now. Right now. You, right here. What? Don't talk back to me.
Shut up! Shut up!
That's how life
You talking to me?
You just had to stand there, try not to do anything, try to be as invisible as possible.
Yeah, don't.
Get down with our lives here still. What's all of those are doing?
Rats learn the VMI honor code, which they repeat over and over again.
This is, wow.
What's it like to be a female student at VMI?
So if I'm being completely honest, it's a little harder. You definitely have to be stronger as a female here because any sign of weakness, their excuse is, oh, they're a female. So there's a term here for female. It's called she'd. I think it's supposed to be like she cadet, something like that. I personally don't like the word. I don't let anyone around me say it because I take offense to it. Because even though there's some females here that take pride in it, like I'm not a female cadet. I'm just a cadet, and that's all I will be.
Female cadets couldn't fully matriculate at VMI until 1997, after a Supreme Court decision forced the school's policy to change. And the culture of VMI continues to be scrutinized.
Systemic racism and sexism at Virginia Military Institute.
Tuesday, the Special Investigation Team released their findings in a 150-page report.
In June of 2021, a special investigation ordered by Governor Northam concluded that, quote, institutional racism and sexism are present, tolerated, and left unaddressed at VMI.
First, I would tell any parent or any prospective student
That's why they
that
hired this
I'm a
dude.
product of Virginia Military Institute. As the superintendent, I'm focused on doing what needs to be done to make sure that the Corps of Cadets understand that that type of behavior is inconsistent with the character of honor and honorable cadets, and we need to eliminate it from our ranks.
Since the investigation began, monuments
any of
touting VMI's ties to the Confederacy have since come down, including a statue of Confederate General and former VMI physics professor Stonewall Jackson.
Did not know that.
What was your reaction to that report? How did that impact you when you found out about this news?
It was disheartening to hear that such a prestigious school had to deal with it, but at the same time, I wasn't deterred. I've Growing up, I've dealt with racism in so many different parts of my life that if there's some here, so be it. I won't let that hinder my personal aspirations.
It might have to be like just a personality thing, how you deal
Hell
with it.
Week
Like
officially
here.
begins.
Clean this room, now take your breaks. Hurry up. You're not. This was have a slow minute and your wall locker.
They teach you how to wear your uniform properly, shine your brass, shine your shoes, fold your clothes.
Stupid. Get this off the table, Rob Johnson. Respond. Dismiss the team, guys, Sergeant. Hurry up.
Pick it up.
For rats,
Don't leave a mess.
life is no less stressful in the dining hall, where they adhere to strict protocols during meals.
You bring your food to your mouth, not your mouth to your food. Do you understand me, rat bowls? When you get back to your room, fix your name tag.
You can get harassed anytime about literally anything.
Don't eat like a cowboy. You eat like a civilized person. Do you understand me?
The upperclassmen have basically free reign to yell at you for whatever they want to.
Open your mouth! Yes, Corporal!
They just learn how to be rats, learn the basics so that they can get through this semester and then happy for the next.
Roll it back. Get your fart back. Who am I? Who am I?
One of the basics rats learn during Hell Week is how to properly strain, which refers to the uncomfortable position they must take
Yes, Corporal.
whenever they're inside barracks for the duration of the rat line.
Yes, sir. Strain. Strain. Yes, sir.
Can you show me what the proper technique is?
And you put it back.
I don't know how I
You
feel
just
about
kind of
that.
like lean back at the waist.
Shoulders back, chin in, and then stick your forehead back as far as it can go.
Yes, sir.
Every class has certain privileges. Rats, their only privilege is to strain, and as you go up, you get more privileges.
Long-held rat line traditions like straining continue at VMI.
Yes, Corporal.
But the Institute has adjusted some training since the appointment of Superintendent Wins.
Okay, like what?
Cadet cadre now participate in a leadership academy on professionalism, accountability, and appropriate behavior when dealing with new cadets.
Look at my face. Remember who I am.
And new measures for reporting incidents have been put in place.
We have what's called a Cadet Equity Association, and it's intended to deal with reports.
How many
that
reports
might
do you
come
think
about
happen a week
where
at this place?
an incident of racism or sexism has occurred.
Get outside. Come here. Come here.
Hell Week culminates the following Sunday with an event known as the Crucible, a series of physically challenging events, including a swim in a nearby river, and a physical challenge where rats race each other to flip over large tires. But after lightning
Looks like a
struck near
castle.
Post, the rats were ordered to return to barracks.
10, 9, 8, Sergeant!
With the rats safely back in their rooms, it appeared the Crucible would be cut short.
They told us to just clean our room, so we didn't really expect anything after that. We just thought the day was over.
But the cadre had different plans.
Hurry up, back here! Get down on your faces! Push! Push! Get out of line, cheat still! That's all I know to do! Get out of line, cheat still! That's all I know to do!
The Crucible events canceled by weather were replaced with what's known as a sweat party.
Let's go! Everyone downtown! Get out of line, cheat still! That's all I know to do!
We had a 5-round sweat party. Each round was 3 minutes long.
Arms up.
And it's just a high-intensity workout is the best way to put it.
Undercut it! Speed of my undercut! I can't will not lie! Cheat! Steal! No tolerate those who do! Stay alive!
I wouldn't call it a pleasant experience, but I don't think it was supposed to be.
After 5 exhausting rounds, the sweat party was over.
Start clapping!
And so was Hell Week,
Brother Rat!
the first step of the Rat Line, the 6-month journey that the class of 2025 must complete before officially joining the Corps of Cadets.
Interesting. I never knew about that, actually.